Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're diving into the world of coin collecting, specifically focusing on the 2002 USA 5-cent Jefferson nickel. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting your coin collection, this coin is a must-know. So, let's explore the circulated value of the 2002 nickel and what makes it special. The 2002 Jefferson nickel is part of the long-running series featuring President Thomas Jefferson. This design, which has been in circulation since 1938, is instantly recognizable by its profile of Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. But what about its value today? Well, let's first, let's talk about circulated value. If you find a 2002 nickel in your pocket change, it's worth, you guessed it, just 5 cents. But here's where things get interesting. If it's in exceptional condition, or if it's a rare minting error, it could be worth more. For the 2002 nickel, the typical circulated coin, which means one that has been used and shows signs of wear, will still hold its face value of 5 cents. But if you come across one in excellent condition, or uncirculated, it could fetch anywhere between 10 to 25 cents, depending on the demand. If the coin is in mint condition, meaning it has been well preserved with sharp details and little to no wear, collectors may be willing to pay more for it. The highest values you'll see for a 2002 Jefferson nickel will likely come from uncirculated or proof versions of the coin. Now, here's something to look out for: mint errors. Occasionally, you might find a 2002 nickel with a minting mistake, such as a double strike or misalignment. These can make the coin far more valuable, so if you think you've got one of these rare finds, it's worth getting it professionally graded. Another thing to note is that the 2002 nickel features Monticello on the reverse, the home of Thomas Jefferson, which gives the coin its distinctive look. While it's a standard design, some collectors like to focus on specific years and variations. If you're wondering where to buy or sell these coins, auction houses, online platforms like eBay, and local coin shops are great places to start. Just remember to check the current market trends as prices fluctuate depending on demand and the coin's condition. So, to sum it up, a 2002 Jefferson nickel in circulated condition is worth its face value, 5 cents. But if you come across one in uncirculated condition or with any mint errors, you might be holding onto a coin worth more than just pocket change. In coin collecting, condition is everything when it comes to determining a coin's value. Here's a breakdown of the key conditions for a 2002 Jefferson nickel, or any collectible coin: heavy wear, with most details barely visible. Coins in this condition are often worn flat, with almost no design detail left. For a 2002 nickel, this condition generally has no additional value beyond its face value of 5 cents. These are not usually sought by collectors. Significant wear, with major features and outlines visible, but details are faint. Jefferson's face is recognizable, but not detailed, slightly above face value, but still usually minimal, unless the coin has historical interest or is rare for its year. Moderate wear with major details visible. Some finer details, like Jefferson's hair, may be worn but still distinct. For a 2002 nickel, these may attract a small premium if there is strong collector demand. Light wear, with most details still sharp and clear. The coin may show some slight rubbing on the highest points. These can sell for a slight premium, especially if they are nearly flawless. Collectors may pay 10 to 20 cents for a well-preserved example from 2002. No signs of wear at all. An uncirculated coin is one that hasn't been in circulation and shows full mint luster. MS 60 is the lowest level of uncirculated, and MS 70 is a flawless, perfect coin. For a 2002 nickel, uncirculated coins may fetch between 25 cents to $1, depending on the grade. MS 67 and higher are rare, so those can command even more among serious collectors. Proof coins are struck with special dies to create a mirror-like finish and are typically not meant for circulation. They are graded similarly to uncirculated coins, from PR 60 to the perfect proof versions of a 2002 Jefferson nickel, if flawless, can go for a few dollars or more, especially if in the original government packaging. The higher the grade, the more desirable the coin is to collectors. Even though circulated 2002 nickels aren't high-value coins, a high-grade uncirculated or proof version can be a nice addition to a collection. The Jefferson nickel, introduced in 1938, has a rich history closely tied to American heritage. Here's an overview, including the historical significance of the 2002 version. The Jefferson nickel was introduced by the U.S. Mint in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It was designed by artist Felix Schlag, who won a design competition. Schlag's design features a left-facing portrait of Thomas, marking the end of Schlag's Monticello version as a standard. Though 2002 nickels are common, they have value as part of the continuous Jefferson nickel series, representing a moment right before a major shift in design. Collectors often seek these to complete collections spanning the classic years. The 2002 Jefferson nickel can serve as a fascinating piece for those interested in 20th century American coinage or as a precursor to the design changes that followed. The Jefferson nickel has become a cultural and historical symbol, reflecting American values and history from its inception during the Great Depression to the early 2000s. The 2002 nickel holds its own place as a classic year, just before the design modifications that would redefine the coin for modern. Today, we're talking about the 1989 Jefferson nickel, a coin you might come across in your pocket change, but what is it worth? Is it just a regular 5-cent coin, or does it have any special value? Stick around to find out all the details you need to know about this nickel. Let's start with the basics. The 1989 Jefferson nickel was minted as part of the regular circulation series, meaning it was made for everyday use. The coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, designed by Felix Schlag. The reverse shows Jefferson's home, Monticello, also designed by Schlag. In 1989, the U.S. Mint produced over 500 million of these coins across the Denver and Philadelphia mints. So, we're talking about a very common coin, not rare by any means. But that doesn't mean it's not worth paying attention to. There are always subtle variations that can affect its value. When it comes to the 1989 Jefferson nickel's circulating value, it's still worth just 5 cents. That's right, the regular version of this coin is worth its face value. If you find one in your pocket change, you can just spend it like any other nickel. Now, let's talk about any potential special variations or errors that could increase its value. While most 1989 Jefferson nickels are worth just 5 cents, there are certain things to look out for. For example, if you come across a coin with any minting errors, like double strikes, die cracks, or unusual wear, it could be worth more to collector. However, finding one of these error coins isn't common, so don't expect to make a fortune on your 1989 Jefferson nickel, but it's always worth checking for those small details. Another way a 1989 nickel might have a higher value is if it's in exceptional condition. A coin that's uncirculated, or in the mint state, could be worth a little more than face value. High-grade coins with, you find one that's graded as MS 65 or higher. So, to wrap it up, while the 1989 Jefferson nickel is worth just 5 cents in circulation, it's always a good idea to keep an eye out for any special versions or coins in excellent condition. Who knows? You might stumble upon a hidden gem. For coins, condition plays a huge role in determining value, and coin collectors use a grading scale to assess a coin's quality. Here's a breakdown of different conditions you might find for the 1989 Jefferson nickel, and how they affect its value. These coins are heavily worn, with many details smoothed out. Jefferson's portrait may appear flat, and the word Liberty might be hard to read. Coins in this condition generally only hold face value, 5 cents, as they are very worn and have no significant collector appeal. Coins in very fine condition show some wear, but details are still visible. You'll be able to see Jefferson's hair and Monticello's outline, though finer details will be worn. A 1989 Jefferson nickel in very fine condition is typically worth around face value but could be worth slightly more to a collector seeking to complete a set. Coins graded as extremely fine show only slight wear on the highest points, such as Jefferson's cheekbones and the building's details on the reverse. These coins might sell for a small premium, possibly 10 to 20 cents, as they are in decent shape but still not quite pristine. A NAU coin has minimal wear, with most details sharp and clear. It may show slight marks from handling but is close to mint condition. AU condition coins may sell for slightly more than face value, around 25 to 50 cents to the right collector. Mint state coins are uncirculated and show no signs of wear. MS-60 coins are the lowest grade in this category, with minor imperfections, while MS-70 represents a flawless coin. High-grade uncirculated 1989 Jefferson nickels can range from about $1 to $5 depending on the specific grade. Coins graded MS65 or higher are often more sought after and can fetch even higher premiums. Proof coins are specially minted for collectors, with a high level of detail and a mirror-like finish. The 1989 proof Jefferson nickels were produced at the San Francisco Mint and will bear an S mint mark. Proof coins from 1989, especially in perfect condition, might sell for a few dollars or more, while most 1989 Jefferson nickels in circulated conditions are worth just 5 cents. Coins in higher grades, especially in MS65 or above, or proof coins, could be worth a little more to collectors. Checking for quality and condition is key to understanding if your nickel is just worth pocket change or has collector value. The Jefferson nickel has a rich history, closely tied to both American culture and the U.S. Mint's evolution. Here's a look at the origins and development of the Jefferson nickel, leading up to the 1989 edition. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. The decision to honor Thomas Jefferson, the third U.S. president and the primary author of the Declaration of Independence, reflected a shift towards honoring founding figures on American coinage. Felix Schlag, a German-American sculptor, won a design competition held by the U.S. Mint, and his design featured Jefferson's profile on the front, obverse, and Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, on the back, reverse. During World War II, nickel, a key component of the alloy used in coins, was needed for wartime production. The U.S. Mint responded by creating war nickels from 1942 to 1945. These nickels were 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. This unique, alike, the 1977 Jefferson nickel. We'll talk about its history, the different varieties it comes in, and, most importantly, its current value in circulation. So, let's get started. The Jefferson nickel, as many of you may know, was first minted in 1938 and features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, along with his home, Monticello, on the reverse. The coin has seen some slight design modifications over the years, but the 1977 issue remains a classic example of this long-running series. Before we get into the coin's value, let's first set the stage with a bit of history. By 1977, the U.S. was already well into its 20th century, and the country had seen its fair share of economic ups and downs. The nation was still recovering from the 1970s inflationary period, where prices were on the rise, and the economy was adjusting in terms of coins. The 1977 nickel was part of a broader minting effort to replace older designs with new, more durable versions. The Jefferson nickel, with its iconic Monticello design, was created to honor one of the founding fathers of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the U.S. and the author of the Declaration of Independence. Alright, now let's take a closer look at the actual design of the 1977 Jefferson nickel. The obverse of the coin features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by artist Felix Schlag. His likeness has been used on the nickel since the coin's debut in 1938. If you look closely, you'll notice the inscription Liberty and the year 1977, which is, of course, the date we're focusing on today. On the reverse of the coin, you'll see an image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, which has been featured on the nickel since its inception. Above Monticello is the inscription E pluribus unum, and alike, the 1977 Jefferson nickel. We'll talk about its history, the different varieties it comes in, and, most importantly, its current value in circulation. So, let's get started. The Jefferson nickel, as many of you may know, was first minted in 1938 and features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, along with his home, Monticello, on the reverse. The coin has seen some slight design modifications over the years, but the 1977 issue remains a classic example of this long-running series. Before we get into the coin's value, let's first set the stage with a bit of history. By 1977, the U.S. was already well into its 20th century, and the country had seen its fair share of economic ups and downs. The nation was still recovering from the 1970s inflationary period, where prices were on the rise, and the economy was adjusting in terms of coins. The 1977 nickel was part of a broader minting effort to replace older designs with new, more durable versions. The Jefferson nickel, with its iconic Monticello design, was created to honor one of the founding fathers of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the U.S. and the author of the Declaration of Independence. Alright, now let's take a closer look at the actual design of the 1977 Jefferson nickel. The obverse of the coin features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by artist Felix Schlag. His likeness has been used on the nickel since the coin's debut in 1938. If you look closely, you'll notice the inscription Liberty and the year 1977, which is, of course, the date we're focusing on today. On the reverse of the coin, you'll see an image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, which has been featured on the nickel since its inception. Above Monticello is the inscription E pluribus unum, and below the building of errors or variations. Some collectors focus on misprints, unusual die cracks, or other anomalies that may make a coin stand out. For example, look for any doubling of the text or any strange marks around the edges. These can sometimes increase the value of the coin. If you find something unusual, it might be worth getting a professional appraisal. So, where can you buy or sell a 1977 Jefferson nickel if you want to add it to your collection or cash in on a valuable find? There are a number of reputable coin dealers, both online and offline, who specialize in U.S. coins. Websites like eBay, Etsy, and specialized numismatic shops can be great places to look for coins. Just make sure to check the reputation of the seller and understand the market value before making a purchase or sale. In conclusion, while the 1977 Jefferson nickel might not be worth a fortune, it's still a fantastic coin for anyone interested in the history of U.S. currency. Whether you're collecting just for fun or looking to build a more serious coin collection, the 1977 nickel definitely deserves a place in your collection. Coin collecting, condition, is everything, and it's one of the primary factors that determines a coin's value. For the 1977 Jefferson nickel, as with most coins, condition can vary widely, impacting whether the coin is worth only face value or more. Here's a quick breakdown of common condition grades. Coins in good or lower conditions show a lot of wear. The details on both Jefferson's portrait and Monticello are likely worn down, making them less valuable. These coins typically hold just face value. A very fine condition coin shows more detail, though there's still moderate wear. Some details of Jefferson's hair or Monticello's pillars might be visible but not sharp. These coins might be worth a few cents over face value if they're well preserved. In extremely fine condition, a coin shows light wear on the high points, with more detail visible in Jefferson's features and Monticello. These coins can have a small premium, depending on collector demand. Almost uncirculated coins show minimal wear, often visible only on the highest points like Jefferson's cheek or Monticello's dome. A 1977 nickel in this condition could bring a modest premium over face value, often worth around 10 to 25 cents. In mint state or uncirculated condition, the coin has never been in general circulation and shows no wear, though minor marks or imperfections may be present. High-grade uncirculated coins, MS 65 and above, are the most valuable, potentially reaching values between 50 cents and a few dollars, though they're generally not rare enough to command high prices. Proof coins are special editions struck with extra care and typically sold directly to collectors. A proof 1977 nickel, especially in flawless PR 70 condition, may have a small collector premium but usually isn't exceptionally valuable unless it's a high-grade example. To get an accurate assessment of your coin's grade and value, consider taking it to a professional grader or appraiser, especially if you believe it's in mint condition or has unique characteristics. The history of the Jefferson nickel, including the 1977 edition, is a fascinating chapter in U.S. coinage. Introduced in 1938, the Jefferson nickel was created to replace the Buffalo nickel, which had circulated since 1913. The new design was part of an effort to modernize U.S. coinage, and it marked a departure from the rugged, uniquely American images seen on the Buffalo nickel. Introduced the Westward Journey nickel series to commemorate the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition. This temporary change modernized the reverse side, although Jefferson's image remained on the obverse. The classic Monticello design returned in 2006, but with a modified obverse featuring a new portrait of Jefferson. The 1977 Jefferson nickel is generally considered a common coin for collectors. However, its value can rise if it is found in near-perfect, uncirculated condition or has errors, as error coins can carry higher premiums. Many collectors seek to complete a full collection of Jefferson nickels by year, making the 1977 edition a staple for Jefferson nickel enthusiasts. The Jefferson nickel remains in circulation today, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. It is valued not only as currency but also as a piece of American heritage, reflecting the mint's tradition of honoring prominent figures from American history. The 1977 edition is emblematic of the coin's classic era before modern updates and changes to U.S. currency became more common. The Jefferson nickel stands as a testament to America's changing economic needs, design trends, and appreciation for historical figures like Jefferson, whose legacy is preserved through this simple yet iconic 1987 Jefferson nickel. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious about this 5-cent coin, we've got you covered with everything you need to know about its circulation value, rarity, and collectability. So, let's take a look at the Jefferson nickel from 1987 and see why it continues to spark interest among coin enthusiasts. Before we get into the specifics of the 1987 nickel, let's take a brief look at the history of the Jefferson nickel. The coin was first introduced in 1938, designed by Felix Schlag, and it features a portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, and his home, Monticello, on the reverse. Over the decades, the coin has undergone a few design changes, but the basic elements have remained consistent, making it one of the most recognized and beloved coins in American history. By 1987, the design had been in circulation for nearly 50 years with only a few updates. The Jefferson nickel is made from a cupronickel blend, meaning it's composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, and weighs 5 grams. Despite being a staple of everyday transactions, the 1987 version carries a little extra historical weight. Let's see why. Now, if you're just wondering about the current circulation value of the 1987 Jefferson nickel, the answer is straightforward: it's still worth 5 cents. The 1987 nickel, like all regular issue coins in circulation, has a face value of 5 cents. That's because it was minted for general circulation and hasn't been specifically commemorated or produced in any special way. So, if you come across a 1987 Jefferson nickel in your pocket change, it's worth exactly 5 cents, no more, no less. But hold on, this doesn't mean that the coin is without value to collectors. Let's break down the different factors that determine its worth in the world of numismatics. For most coin might have. For the 1987 nickel, a coin in uncirculated, near-perfect condition, like a MS-65 or higher, can command a higher premium. In fact, uncirculated examples of this coin might be valued at around 20 to 50 cents, depending on the market and condition. These are coins that never made it into general circulation and were likely kept in pristine condition since they were first minted. One thing to keep in mind is that the 1987 Jefferson nickel was minted in large quantities, over 400 million in total between the Philadelphia and Denver mints, so it's not a rare coin. The sheer number of coins made makes it less likely to find one with exceptional value unless it has unique features or excellent preservation. While the 1987 Jefferson nickel may not be rare in general, there are always exceptions in the world of coin collecting. Some collectors focus on coins with minting errors, and these can significantly increase a coin's value. For example, you might come across a 1987 nickel with misprints, double strikes, or other types of minting errors. For the 1987 coin, errors are relatively uncommon, but if you do find one with a noticeable flaw, such as a double die or an off-center strike, it could be worth more than just the typical 5 cents. Some error coins can fetch anywhere from a few dollars to even hundreds of dollars, depending on the rarity and the severity of the error. So, where can you find the 1987 Jefferson nickel, or better yet, where can you buy one in high-quality condition? If you're looking for high-quality, uncirculated versions, you can check out local coin dealers, online marketplaces like eBay, or even reputable auction sites. Just be sure to look at the seller's feedback and descriptions carefully, as you want to ensure the coin is exactly as advertised. And for those of you looking for coins in bulk, you can also find rolls of 1987 Jefferson nickels for sale. These rolls often contain coins in decent circulated condition, but Jefferson nickel may not be the rarest or most valuable coin out there, but it's a great piece of U.S. coinage history. Whether you're collecting for fun or hoping to discover a hidden gem, the 1987 nickel can still be a worthy addition to your collection. Keep an eye out for those higher-grade examples or any error coins, as they could be more valuable than you think. When it comes to coin collecting, the condition or grade of a coin is one of the most critical factors determining its value. Here's a breakdown of the condition categories, often used for coins like the 1987 Jefferson nickel, worn down to almost a smooth surface with barely recognizable details. Generally, only the outline of Jefferson's profile might be visible, very minimal, typically worth only face value or less for collectors, extremely worn, but major design elements like Jefferson's profile and parts of Monticello are visible. Fine details are mostly absent, slightly above face value, but not significant. Moderate wear with most major details visible, though the finer details are heavily worn. More than face value for collectors, but still fairly common. Moderate wear, but all major details remain clear, and some finer details are visible. Valued higher than face value, especially for older coins. Light wear on the highest points, with nearly all details visible. Slight smoothness on Jefferson's cheekbone or Monticello steps might be noticeable, higher than lower grades, worth a small premium. Minimal wear, mostly on the highest points of the design. The coin appears almost uncirculated, with only slight signs of handling. Higher premium, especially if the coin has a good luster and strong details. Offers insight into one of America's most iconic coins, minted since 1938. The Jefferson nickel replaced the Buffalo nickel, and its design was chosen through a national competition as part of a shift to commemorate influential American figures on coinage. The winning design, created by Department, held a competition for a new design featuring Jefferson. Schlag's design won, featuring a left-facing portrait of Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, on the reverse. The original coin had a classic, detailed look that would become familiar to generations. The war, the composition returned to the traditional 75% copper and 25% nickel. The large mint mark above Monticello was removed, and the Philadelphia Mint stopped using mint marks the early 1980s. In 2004, the U.S. Mint began a redesign project called the Westward Journey series to commemorate the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition, which Jefferson had commissioned. This resulted in temporary reverse designs in 2004 and 2005 and a new forward-facing portrait of Jefferson in 2006. The 2006 design introduced a new, more detailed portrait of Jefferson, marking the first major change to the obverse in the coin's history. The 1987 Jefferson nickel was part of the standard circulation series and was produced in large quantities at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. With no special characteristics or changes, it is not considered rare, but higher grade or error versions from this year can attract collectors. The 1987 Jefferson nickel holds value mainly in uncirculated, high-grade condition or in cases of unique mint errors. The Jefferson nickel continues to be one of the longest-running coins in the U.S. Mint's history, symbolizing Thomas Jefferson's legacy and an enduring chapter of American coinage. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1987 Jefferson nickel, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more coin collecting content, and leave a comment below telling us about your favorite coin in your collection. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.